March 2018 Nitro reports from the studios of the West Coast Funny Car Factory. Brought to you by Aeromotive Fuel Systems at aeromotiveinc.com, like you see on the screen. Good Vibrations Motorsports at dragparts.com. Racepack Data Systems at racepack.com. And Stith Printing and Legends of Nitro for all your screen printing and embroidery needs at stithprinting.com. Now, tonight's show features guests Outlaw Nitro's Cory McClenathan, Eddie Knox and Billy Morris from the Problem Child Nitro Funny Car, Good Vibrations March Meet Funny Car winner Bobby Cottrell, Champion Speed Shop's Bobby McClenathan, Good Vibrations March Meet Fuel Altered winner Dan Hicks, Good Vibrations March Meet Rear Engine Top Fuel winner Mike Stewart, and James Maher from Sifka. And here they are, ladies and gentlemen, Darr Hawthorne and Donnie Couch.
Wow, Donnie, we made it. We survived the Good Vibrations March Meet.
Yeah, the weather almost won, but stuck it out, and the rain quit, and we were able to race, and it was a beautiful event. And we got the winner on the show tonight.
And we just got to thank everybody for watching that Saturday night show that we did. Oh, look at that.
Oh, kaboom!
Kaboom!
Both of them blow the bodies off right in the light.
As you can see, the racing in NHRA Mellow Yellow Series is working quite well.
Here we go. Watch this.
Holy.
They're getting their money's worth down there if you buy a ticket.
Okay, so we got an estimate going tonight of how much has John Force spent on bodies and chassis and engines this year so far after 3 events.
I know, Darr.
What's that?
He spent enough he's got a GoFundMe page. Right? John Force GoFundMe page.
Well, we got a pretty packed show tonight. And one of our old friends, Cory McClenathan, is on the phone.
Wow.
And he's got a new Outlaw Nitro series that ran this weekend in Phoenix. Cory, you there?
Oh, I'm here, guys.
How are you doing, man?
Shit.
I'm doing good. Donnie, how are you, bud?
Donnie's putting on his hearing aid.
But I bet you if he could have heard you, he would have said he's doing great.
Hi, Cory. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, brother.
Man, it's been a long time since we've seen you, but we understand you got a program going on that people are paying attention to.
Yeah, you know what? There's always another way to skin a cat. We've been obviously watching the NHRA stuff, and as much as you'd like to be there and have the money to have the backing for it, it's just not feasible for all of us right now. So when Dexter called me and he said, "Look, I got an idea, and I want to get out there, and I want to bring guys like you and come out and bring some funny cars and some dragsters and put on a show for the folks and run it a little bit different. We're talking 80% nitro, 60 pounds, total boost off the blower. That's it. We're going to do a couple more things just to make sure the parts are good. And for the first weekend, considering the car had been sitting in the trailer for 2 years, Dexter brought it to the track, put a tune-up in it, and went out there. We ran over 300 a couple times.
Wow.
Knocking on that door of trying to get in the 390s, where I think we can probably push this thing and run low 390s, maybe some high 380s in the right conditions, and probably about 310, 315. But I'm telling you, I could not believe the parts and pieces when they came out of the car at 80% nitro. You could put them right back in the car, leak it down, and start that thing up and go run it again. That's how good everything looked.
Sounds like you better build a margarita machine to fill the void.
I'm telling you, because in between rounds, it's going to get easier and easier. You know what I'm talking about? So,
hey, Cory, how many of these events are you going to have this year?
Well, we're going to do 4 events. They're all going to be with guys from the RDA, which is the Diesel Association, and they've been kind enough to just grab it right away, because the one thing about all this stuff is to be able to have nitro cars, you have to have the right insurance.
Yeah.
So Dexter went right out right away, and he obtained his own insurance for us. So we can actually be bought into any venue out there, and we have our own insurance. We roll in there, we do a show, And and that's the biggest thing is the insurance, as well as, you understand that as far as trying to get Nitro cars out there. If you don't have the right backing, the right insurance, the right, people on the premises as far as safety equipment, everything else, then you probably shouldn't be out there doing it.
Yeah, you got to have all the safety stuff. I don't care. If you got Nitro in it and you pull the coil wires off, you better stand back. Right?
Exactly. I mean, I had a lot of people come up to me, why are you guys rebuilding this in between rounds? Well, it's like Dexter said, if you put Nitro in it, you better take it apart, take a good look at it.
Exactly.
So, first race, first weekend, I mean, Dexter was nervous, I could tell, and I kept telling him, just calm down, everything's going to go real good, and it did. I mean, he did his homework, and obviously with the people he surrounds himself with, they did a great job. We had his girlfriend Jessica really did a great job, trying to get it out there and make sure everybody knew what we were all about. Obviously, it had Brad there and Zach, and Jeff was doing the clutch. Even brought Chris McNichol out to do one of the heads. Rick came back from way back, doing the clutch for him. And my buddy Greg went out with me. Tony Shortall's been a big part of this deal. The association kind of has a very simple kind of attitude towards it. Go out, go have fun. We have our own certification team with Tony Shortall and the guys. The same with Dexter. Dexter is in charge of the whole thing, and then I'm in charge of all the drivers, just making sure the licenses are good. If I see something silly, go out there and just try to work with them, make sure they're doing the right thing. And, most of these guys, a lot of them have their license. I had Jack Wyatt in the final. Well, obviously, he's been out there as long as I've been doing it, so that was a lot of fun. Chicago-style racing, so you get one tune-up run on Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon is the first round, and then it's going to be the quickest. We had, 3 funny cars out there. It was going to be the quickest funny car against the quickest Nitro car. We had Bill Litton. He did a great job. I mean, the guys really all did it flawlessly. No problems, no blow-ups, no issues. Really nothing to be heard of as far as broken. No oil downs. I mean, just to see that type of stuff come out as clean as it was really made Dexter happy, and everybody's, looking forward to coming back. And I think we'll be able to add a few of these races as we go along as well. So I'm excited about it. Really am.
Well, I'd like to go see one of these events. You're going to have to let us know when the next one is. And I want to go see Brad Tuttle, man. He's my hero. Drove Top Fuel Hydros and all that. Funny cars.
No kidding. And he looks at me and he's like, dude, you're my hero. I wouldn't get I don't know that I want to get one of these things.
Cory,
that type of deal.
Cory, you're everybody's hero, buddy. That sport misses you.
Yeah. Well, I finally walked away from the NHRA thing and got into the off-road deal, driving the FabTech Pro Light truck with my buddy Dave Winter. His kid drive one as well. Cory Winter's on the podium every weekend. I'm still getting my feet wet with it. We're putting a new truck together to try to chase that Lucas Oil deal, and it's a different foundation. These kids have been doing it since they were 8 years old, and they're kicking my butt, Donnie. I mean, it's crazy out there. They have no fear whatsoever. But I did get some to come out, and they got next to the Top Fuel car, and the first thing they do when that thing lights up is back up. Like, oh no, not for me. Nuh-uh, not going to happen. Well, I get that, but when you're like us and you've been around it since you were a kid, it comes second nature. I got back in it and thought, well, I feel pretty comfortable in here. This is a pretty good deal. But
well, I don't think it ever goes away, especially a driver of your caliber.
No, it really doesn't. And I got to thank all those guys. They really made it easy for us. The Diesel Association deal, those guys were awesome. They worked very hard to give us the track that we wanted and not glue it in too much so we wouldn't have trouble, chunking race tires and having to go through parts and pieces. So we worked really well with everybody, and we're looking forward to doing it again. The next one's going to be at Ennis in April. So it's one of those things. We just keep on rolling. So far 4 of them. I think by the end of the year, we'll be looking at 6 to 8 of them, though. I really do.
That'll be nice.
It came over that well. And Dexter, bless his heart, he just sits there and looks at me and says, do whatever you want to do. I love that in an owner. Just go out there and have fun and do your thing. And to go out and win the first one for him, we're really proud of that as well.
Well, you ought to be. I've been hanging out on West Road in La Habra, and your name's still going around that city for your Fullerton Road. I think you still have the track record over there on Fullerton Road.
And right now I'm sitting in La Habra at my mom's house, and we're just chilling out tonight. Just got done working on the truck at FabTech all day today.
Oh, nice! Are you living in over there? Or you were at Havasu?
Exactly. I'm back in Corona.
Nice.
And mom's in the same house that I grew up in here since I was 8 years old. But so
wow.
It's everywhere I go around here, I get to see friends and people from the past. So it's a good place to be right now. It's a good time to be me right now. I'm having a good time. 55 years old, still get to drive a top fuel car, still get to do the off-road thing. I'm very blessed. I think the biggest thing is I've grown up a lot, and I've learned that you can do this, you can have a good time.
There's
and
life after drag racing.
Exactly.
Life after NHRA, anyway.
Yeah, I jumped right in with my family and spent more time with my daughter, and I was thinking, what am I going to do now? Then the truck deal came up, and now this has come up, and it's like, okay, I'm ready. I think my family's had enough of me right now, so I think I'll just grab the dog and go back on the road and do some racing and try to enjoy myself. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Cory, I think we're seeing more Nitro shows that are coming up on the local level, and I think that we can trace some of that back directly to NHRA's ban on doing any of the big show, the Mellow Yellow guys going out and running any local events. It's like we're, Nostalgia Funny Car, Nostalgia Top Fuel, Fuel Altereds, a lot of different venues, including what you're doing, are filling a void. The Nitro Chaos out of Texas. It's like it's opened an opportunity for a lot of people in let's say a secondary market to still be able to race.
Exactly. And the thing is, it revolves around money. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
If I had the big bucks and was out there, I'd probably be out there chasing an NHRA dream like everybody else. But, you've seen them. They've even had to kind of struggle with car counts and, changing rules and everything else. And now, I don't got to tell you, you've seen what's going on with Funny Car right now.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cory, you saw John Force's GoFundMe page for Funny Car bodies, right?
Oh, my God, yeah. I'm thinking about doing it. I see those things and I laugh, and then when you said that, I was cracking up. It's a rough deal, but they got something going on there that's detrimental to the sport. Somebody is going to get hurt if they don't either figure out why it's doing it, or if it has something to do with the NHRA box, maybe they're pulling too much timing back on the other end, and you and I both know what happens then. They start detonating, they start trying to run backwards. We can't run blown cars that way, especially with nitro in them. So it's I know these guys all know a lot more than I do, and that's not really for me to say, but at the same time, I think we have a show that people can come to, and we'll get a bigger car count as we go along. And you can come out, enjoy yourself. You can bring your family. It's not going to break you at the gate. You get in, you have, your sodas, and take care of your kids and let them go out and check stuff out. Go home with some T-shirts. At the end of the day, you haven't spent the whole wallet. And that's the biggest thing, is for us to put on a show in one day's time, too. We start Saturday morning. We're done by Saturday night. And then you still have Sunday to do whatever it is you want to do at home. So,
that sounds like a pretty
I'm not
entertaining
knocking,
day.
Exactly. And not to knock anybody else or any of the other associations, because that's what I did when I grew, as I grew up. It's what put food on the table for me. So this is just another way of doing it. and trying to have some fun and give the fans some joy. And I'll tell you, when the cars went over 300 this weekend, they were going crazy.
Hey, Cory, what do they run with you guys? You talk about the diesels. What classes are there with you guys?
Oh, you know what? They had everything out there. That National Hot Rod Diesel Association, they had tractor pulls on Friday night, which I went over. I've never seen live, which was a blast to watch. Their viewership is crazy. I mean, over 500,000 viewers watching this stuff. And we all know one thing. It's all about, what you can do live streaming online now. It's not always being there to see it. Everybody's got a computer at home. You got all these kids doing all the social media stuff. Even the sponsors are asking social media numbers. Times are changing. It's not about, hey, what can you get me? What can you sell me, by having your car out there with my name on it? It's now all about social media and live streaming, and We're seeing that more and more. Even with the regional series in the off-road deal, not to mention the National League with the trucks, doing that, with the Lucas Oil stuff, it still packs them in. But the social media side of things and the viewership is off the charts number-wise. So, we're seeing all this stuff, and we all know that, they don't want us out there racing on the street. So, the regular outlaw shows that we see, they've even kind of backed those up, and they've made a good show out of them. They're trying to get some of those guys to get on the strip, and you saw Chuck's deal with the new no prep drag racing. I love watching that because it truly is no prep, so it's a driver's game again. So it's one of those things where there's more things to see. There's not just one thing to watch, and we can watch a lot of stuff and listen to it, see it on computer, and if you're lucky enough to be there in person, even better. But at the end of the day, it's all about having fun, not hurting too many parts, and bringing it back in one piece. So I think NHRA could probably learn a little bit from what we're trying to do here.
Yeah. So is there any chance we're going to be seeing you on Fullerton Road Outlaws?
Yeah, well, you know what?
Bring that Volkswagen back.
I'm telling you, I just got that 56 out not too long ago. And
nice.
It's pretty much ready to go out and play with on the street a little bit. Still street legal, still can go out and have fun. So, Jeff Lutz and I are friends, so I kind of get the end what the Outlaws are doing, and those guys are a great bunch of guys. All they want to do is go out and race. NHRA's look on that is a little different, obviously, because street racing is not the way to go.
No,
but
we all know
these guys are. Yeah, and we all understand that, they're putting on a show. The street that they race on all the time is now, has a lot of safety guys. It's one street they run on. They have a helicopter on premise. I mean, it's the biggest thing that we've seen come up, not to mention the no prep drag. So along the way, I'm learning a lot. At the same time, I think NHRA can learn from this. They can try to change some things, but man, I'll tell you, to go out there and only get 3 runs out of a crank nowadays,
it's ridiculous.
And have to change the parts like we are. I mean, we're seeing a lot of stuff going on in Funny Car, and I'm hoping that they're going to find a way to just back them up enough to where we can still see good side-by-side racing, but not get somebody hurt and not cost millions and millions to do per year.
Right.
Well, if you got a website so that our viewers can check out what's going on, and because I know we got some of the videos off of Facebook that you guys uploaded, but where can we go and learn some more information about your series?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Go to the Nitro Outlaw Drag Racing Association series, and it's on Facebook. It's got a website. We're doing our own thing, and they're actually uploading stuff from the weekend I think all day today I saw some new stuff on there. So you'll see pretty much every single round and what it looks like. We're, we're learning before we run type of deal. We're walking before we run, so to speak. So it's gotten better and better, and I think within probably the next couple months, we get to our second race, we're going to see our car counts jump out. If we can grab a couple of guys from the National Series as well and get them to come over and race with us, they're there to make money, get paid, and win races just like we are.
We got to get Pluger over there then.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
The
guys like that.
The kind of guys. Exactly.
Guys like that can't afford to go run that
Del and
trail.
Chuck well, thanks a lot for calling in, Cory. Really appreciate it. Love to see you one of these days. Get you in here in studio so we can bullshit with you for a while. Because that's one of the this show is really trying to replicate what happens inside the trailer when you're sitting around drinking a beer at the end of the day. And
exactly. When I'm listening in, I'm thinking the same thing. You guys are doing a great job with it.
Thanks a lot, Cory.
And people like me get to come on and watch it, and we certainly enjoy it. So keep on doing your thing. And Donnie, great talking with you. Hopefully we catch up soon.
Yeah, hopefully we run into each other. I'm in La Habra every day.
There you go, brother.
All right.
Thanks
you guys be good. Have a great night. Thank you so much.
Okay, you too, man.
Bye-bye.
Keep us posted.
Bye-bye.
Well, great guy, man. That guy still known for what he did with the Volkswagens racing and Top Fuel and
when he run the McDonald's
everything
Top
he's
Fueler
been in, he's been he's a legend in the sport.
Like I told him on the phone when I talked to him yesterday, I said, I still got a whole bunch of your Cory Mack T-shirts back because you had really good designs. I love those things. And he says, yeah, well, I had to lose some weight to get back into mine. And I said, well, yeah, I got a ways to go.
I had to sew 4 of them together,
and that's a good look.
And that was a wife beater shirt. Yeah, had the armhole in the front. Yeah, that's good. That was a beer holder, I thought.
Well, we got another one of our really good buddies on the phone that we got to hang out with for quite a bit out at Auto Club Famoso Raceway.
Our really good buddy. Who's that?
Well, he used to race boats.
Oh, Eduardo Knoxo.
That's him. Eddie?
Hey, what are you guys doing?
How are you doing, man?
Oh, doing great.
Talking to all the legends tonight, obviously. We've got Cory Mack and now you.
I used to watch Cory race that Volkswagen of his many years ago at OCIR.
Right? Yep. We all did.
Yep.
Yeah, what a badass career that
Some of us made some money betting on him, too.
Yeah.
Although there was no wagering allowed at that particular track.
There never is.
Hey, Eddie.
Money always changes hands.
Eddie, so you ran the March meet, you made it there, and you didn't get the results you wanted, but I know you had a good time, and you got a lot of buzz going about that car, and people were very happy to have you up there.
Yeah, it was, despite freezing our asses off and, not doing as well as we like, just the experience of being at the March meet was awesome. That seeing as many cars, and that's kind of what got me hooked to begin with, seeing 30 of them lined up. It meant a lot more people, a lot more drivers and owners, and it was just too cold to really get out and visit much. But what a great time, man. I can't wait to do that again.
Yeah, well, we as others enjoyed having you out there, and of course Billy Morris did one hell of a job as a new driver out there. He looked like a veteran.
We didn't think there'd be any problem with Billy converting over, and he's done well. We've thrown nothing but junk at him round after round, and he still comes back with a smile.
Yeah, well, him and his dad are great people, and they support your efforts. I know the boat's parked and it's sitting in the garage. Somebody told me it was sold.
Oh, no, I wish. Do you have their number?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what happened because I've drag raced all my life, boat raced with you, and now you're drag racing and I'm boat racing. So something's happened.
Huh?
The universe has gone upside down.
Congratulations on your win last weekend for your first real outing with that thing.
Blind squirrel finds an acorn, but it doesn't matter. We got the W.
Yeah. And what a great guy you race with. Steve Radjick's an awesome dude and a former funny car driver.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, Eddie, he's one hell of a boat driver. I've been with quite a few of them in our alcohol days, as you know. We race against each other, but I'm telling you, this guy's one of the top drivers I've ever been with, and I'm not saying that because he owes me money, but
Is he as good as Darrell?
Right. Yeah.
Well, he's got a fun racing attitude, and that's why it's enjoyable. You know, he's kicked back most of the time till, just like Billy, till you slide their helmets on, they change coats.
Yeah, he's an animal. I know Billy's the same way.
Yeah,
we
we had a lot of fun in the sand with the Morris family, and we're enjoying this. Of course, you know, it's just a giant learning curve and gathering enough parts and pieces and you know, trying to learn how to get down those difficult tracks. The big dogs made it, and no excuses. We just suck. That's all.
Well, it's just a learning curve, Eddie. When is your next event then?
We're going to go to the Tucson race in a few weeks. That UNFC, I think it's called.
The UNFC Funny Car Championship, sponsored by Good Vibrations Motorsports.
That's the one.
Yeah.
And talked to Bill Donner today, about, we're going or not, and accommodations, and he kind of helped us out and give us some direction on where to go, where to stay. And
nice.
We're looking forward to that. I guess it's a night race, which ought to be interesting. You know, maybe we'll see some flames.
Well, in Phoenix, in Tucson too, there's just a great Nitro crowd for the IHRA races that were held there a couple of years ago. They were packing the place. Not enough money to bring in for IHRA's sake, but it's a really good Nitro town. You'll really bring some T-shirts to sell. It's a really fun place, and they really eat it up. And we're doing also a Nitro Outlaw 6.0 class. Anything that you want to bring. I know that George Doty and Rodney Floor and I are talking about bringing the Godzilla car.
Nice.
So funny cars against fuel alters.
Funny cars against fuel alters against Nitro Harleys.
Oh,
I mean, whatever you bring it, you still got to run on a 6.0 index, and so you know we'll see. Oh, and then I got an email from Jim Broom today that he'll be there with the Speed Sport fuel altered.
Wow,
nice. Well, I hope I can sell some T-shirts. That rain out, you know, that kind of hurt. I mortgaged my house to buy the T-shirts, and I sold like 3. So I got a lot of clothes for myself for the rest of my life. So I'm looking good there.
Eddie, you got 3 fans?
Billy does.
No, they just stopped by the wrong tent and had some cash, so I took it.
Hey, wait a minute.
Their clothes were wet, and they had to buy some dry clothes, right?
That's a true story, unfortunately.
Well, thanks a lot for calling in, and we still want to get you here in studio so we can sit and BS with you for a while
and drink
a whole hour. And have some beer.
I should have drank before I called you guys. It's usually funner that way, but
it don't matter.
Not so funny car.
But we'll see you in Tucson.
Guys,
appreciate
have a great
it.
Show.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, Eddie.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. I'll tell you what, he's going to make his mark in Nostalgia Funny Car.
Boy,
I know
everybody has just rolled up their sleeves and just embraced funny car racing. And, from having been sand racers and boat racers and like what? I mean, they're having a ball over
Eddie's done good in everything he's raced, from boats and world championships on that Top Fuel Hydro. He really kept that sport alive with the Top Fuel Hydro, innovation of everything that, that boat ran 268 miles an hour.
I can't imagine.
Probably faster than that, but one time we were at Havasu, it ran 268.
Jeez.
That's on the water.
No thanks.
How crazy is that, right?
No thanks.
But,
water ski behind that too?
Yeah.
Rip your arms out.
No, barefoot. Barefoot water ski.
Well, speaking of barefoot, we got barefoot Bobby Cottrell on the phone.
Wow. I thought he was too big to call in.
Yeah, right.
Huh?
You guys are already
Poor
cracking
Bobby,
jokes, huh?
standing in the winter circle on Sunday and laying underneath changing the transmission on Monday, right?
Yep. Unfortunately, I'd rather be racing a funny car right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, you guys going down to Tucson too, obviously.
Yeah, I'm going to fly down, I think, on the 12th or something like that, and meet the guys down there. Bucky's down in Havasu right now, so he's going to drive from there and try to do our thing, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you guys have really gelled, Bobby, we were up there at Bakersfield when you got your license last year to everything you did all last summer, and guys, you look really comfortable in the car, and the car's really consistently kicking everybody's butt.
And Bucky's smiling a lot.
Yeah, Bucky's smiling. Something's up.
Yeah, Yeah, that's. I hopefully I can keep the smile on his face. You know, we know he could turn the other way real quick. That's for sure. But he's been. You know, we've all been trying hard, and everything's just been, thank God, working out, and I'm having a lot of fun. So we'll just see how it goes from here.
Yeah, well, you look real comfortable in that thing now, and obviously winning the races and everything. But Bobby, what's the biggest surprise after a year of driving this thing? What you look at? What was anything different, or what made you more comfortable, or?
Yeah, I'm just more comfortable. I think the biggest thing why I'm more comfortable just because Bucky's kind of let me, you know, he's kind of left the driving up to me. You know what I'm saying? We still have our chats, and you know, I still talk to Bucky about different scenarios and stuff because, you know, I still don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm still green as far as driving a funny car, and he does a really good job of explaining it to me in terms where I could understand it, you know what I'm saying? So we just work really good together. The whole team, I think we have a great team. Everybody has their jobs, and they're very, very good at it. So I'm really excited for the future, and hopefully we continue where we started.
Yeah, well, one thing about, you know, Bucky being the owner, it's a little different from most of those teams out there. He can get in that car and shoo it down the track at any time, right?
Yeah, that's what a lot of people like ask me. It's funny because they're like, "You ever get fed up with Bucky?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't." You know, me and Bucky work pretty good. Well, what are you going to do if you get fed up with him? I tell him, "Well, I can't tell him to, you know, try it himself because he'll actually do it. He'll jump in and try to do better than me."
You can't say, "Show me."
Yeah.
You think you could get better once you get in it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, he'll say challenge accepted.
Yeah, well, I don't know, man. That guy's pretty tough in driving and tuning and everything else he does, you know.
Hey, Bobby, how was it holding that March Meet trophy? I mean, that's a
sacred ground right there.
That's a great thing to get off of your bucket list and onto your trophy cabinet.
God, you know what? I told Bucky, like, I was like, you know, thank God you broke the March Meet curse. I've been cursed for the past like 4 years, man. I think I've broken like a $16 part one final, and like a $25 part the next final, and it's just like. It seemed like the monkey was just on my back. You know, I was actually, you know, for a while there, just not going to show up to the March Meet because I knew it was going to happen. And, you know, I'm just to win the March Meet, especially in Nitro Funny Car, you know, my first full year, it's kind of surreal. You know what I'm saying? Especially with Bucky Austin and all the guys and girls over there in that team. It's just it's a dream come true. I hate to keep on saying that, but I still have to kind of pinch myself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's good, man. You got to remember where you came from.
Yeah.
Right?
Old Whittier, buddy. Old Whittier.
Yeah, old Whittier, buddy. Right?
Everything comes from Whittier, apparently, now.
Yeah, Good Vibrations, Bobby, myself. Darr, you were even up there for a while.
I used to live there, yeah.
Vic Wood. We want him back, though.
That's right. Vic Wood is from Whittier, huh?
Yeah, right down the street from me.
Whittier, Australia.
Whittier, Australia. Of course, the Franchev family. Of course, they won the Heritage Series championship.
Yep. Yeah, good old Ozzy and Ward.
Yeah, Jason. You know, that's a good group right there. So a lot of us Whittier boys hanging in there
good
still.
Vibrations.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, Bobby, thanks a lot for calling in, man. Really, really proud of you, man. It's really cool.
Yeah,
to
I really appreciate it, guys. It was cool being on Nitro Reports in the tower. Drew,
right.
We had a lot of fun, man.
We had a lot of
time.
You know that thing that we did. All I did was turn over my my iPad, and everybody's shirts were backwards and stuff. But I looked at the numbers this morning, and over 10,000 people have watched that thing in the time since that Saturday night, and I'm kind of blown away that either you guys are really starved for some Nitro entertainment.
Well, look at the celebrities we had on.
Yeah, we did have
right? Him and Drew Austin.
Well, I think, you know, the cool thing about it is it was just like, you know, the way I took it was just us hanging out, just conversating, making fun of each other, and I think that goes a long way with people. It's fun to watch. It's not like a cookie cutter show where, you know, you're on a script and it's, you know, you sound like robots. You know what I'm saying?
Script.
You know, I actually just watched it a couple of days ago, and it was really, really cool to watch. I mean, it was kind of funny.
Well, we appreciate you guys coming up in the tower and doing that.
It's always a good time capping on a Donnie couch.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Well, thanks a lot for calling, Bobby. We'll see you 13th and 14th of April at the UNFC, United Nitro Funny Cars Championships, presented by Good Vibrations Motorsports.
All righty, guys. You have a good night.
Okay,
thanks,
you too, Bobby.
All right, bye-bye.
Wow, well timed. We get to see the final right here.
Well, here comes the final.
Here it is.
Here's Bobby.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow. 72, 241 to a 595. I'm surprised Ryan Hodson fell off that much.
Yeah, well, Bobby also said that like just after mid-track, it was getting loose, and so he was.
But it's still wet out there.
Yeah.
You know, it was a nasty weekend. You know, I got a hats off to the track crew because I don't know how they did it. It would rain. We'd run a couple cars and it would rain. They'd dry the track off
5 times on
Wait
Saturday.
a minute. They dried it off. There was no jet dryer.
No.
They're doing weed eaters, weed blowers, and brooms, and it was unbelievable. And then they'd come out and run record times, and I couldn't believe that crew at Bakersfield.
Now, Jim and the guys out there really have figured out how to prep that track to handle the horsepower that the current Nitro funny cars and top fuelers are running and fuel alters. I mean, everybody was near record performance and
yeah.
I mean, even California Hustler ran best ever with FRN driving. So it's it's like everybody's coming around. This is a very tight class this year in funny car. It also is in top fuel, and I think we're really lucky to be able to experience this time in this kind of racing. It's like it is not all about mellow yellow. There's some other stuff out there that's really an awful lot of fun to watch and very entertaining. And if you're anywhere near, if you're within 500 miles of Tucson, get off your dead ass and go to that race on the 13th and 14th of April. You will have a good time.
And Darr, I like the Thursday session where we saw funny cars racing nostalgia dragsters and dragsters running against fuel alters and fuel alters running against rear alters. I mean, it was anything that was fuel pulled up to the line and they ran it, and the fans were going nuts over it.
Oh, it was good.
I know I was.
It was like a Saturday Night Nitro again.
Yeah,
it was
run what
cool.
you brung as long as it's on Nitro.
That's it. And that's the 6.0 class now at Tucson in conjunction with the UNFC.
Run anything, right?
Run anything, and truly, fuel altereds have been invited. It looks like there are probably 5 fuel altereds, a couple of top fuel, and a couple of funny cars. Lyle Greenberg out of New Mexico. He's just finished the Cone Hunter Corvette, and he wants to come out and test and run on the 6.0 deal.
Nice.
Like, awesome, bring it. Well, let's take a break, and we need to get some commercials in here before we get to Bobby McClenathan.
My hero.
He's
Bobby
an awesome
McClenathan.
dude. But let's hear from our sponsors.
Aeromotive Fuel Systems. On the street, in the water, or at the track, if you can drive it, we can fuel it. Good Vibrations Motorsports specializes in the parts you need for gas, alcohol, and nitro engines. If you're muscling a funny car or top fueler down the quarter mile, cutting a rooster tail across the lake, or cruising the boulevard, Good Vibrations has the blower and fuel system solutions for your personal ride and race car. If you want to go fast, really fast, then Good Vibrations Motorsports is ready to hear from you at goodvibesracing.com. Stith Printing is your leader in corporate and individual identity marketing, with over 3 decades of delivering the best quality garments for your budget and promotions. At Stith Printing, we offer in-house design, providing strong graphic solutions for any project with fabric screen printing or high-density embroidery. Stith's diverse background and attention to detail gets the job done on time and on budget, then ships the job to your door. Whether you field an international racing team, a statewide construction company, a local softball team in a church league, or the convenience store down the street, Stith Printing has the crew to deliver your next printing and branding project.
Our old buddy Bobby McClenathan is on the telephone, and he's doing some pretty amazing things with all the other Top Fuel teams, and with feeding some interns, getting some new blood into our sport. And Bobby, you there?
I'm there. I guess I should say I'm here. I was there with you guys in the rain, but now I'm here.
Well, we wish you were here in studio, buddy. We'd have the baddest ass Top Fuel small block Chevy tuner out there.
Well, I need some of your private jet money, and I can fly on down.
I think I've used up all my credits.
Yeah. It looks good, though. It looks great.
Right.
And we usually have Adam on here in studio, so this is, this is.
I know, yeah. Well, you got to take a step down every now and then, so I'm here.
Well, I think he's tired of us abusing him.
Yeah. Well, when you're as good as he is, what can I tell you?
We abuse because we love him.
That's right. That's right. No, he's pretty incredible.
Bobby, tell us about what you got going on with this foundation's under your dad's name, right?
Yeah. So, as I've told you guys and a number of people, that my dad's passion for drag racing, I mean, one of his best buddies was Mickey Thompson, and between the two of them, they would, if they were walking across the street, they'd race each other, right? It was in their genes, and and with Dad, it was just growing up with them and just seeing how, if you're a drag racer and you introduced yourself to him, you were up there already, right? Whatever you needed from the speed shop, if you needed tune-up, info, if you needed parts, when we tour, guys come up and say, your dad, he helped me out and, never asked for any money and this and this and this. So, he was just a great guy. And so, I just felt that, we've been very fortunate in our other businesses and to, get the word out there in his name. And that's why we still run, the Car Under Champion Speed Shop and Jim McClenathan's Champion Speed Shop. And so with the elimination of most of the auto shops in high schools, I thought, well, what can we do to help out? And so to my surprise, the junior colleges in California are pretty incredible. So up here in Northern California, there's Skyline College that has a great program. And so we started a program there with the Jim McClenathan Drag Racing Foundation, which is a small, it's self-funded at this point, and we provide qualified graduating students, a set of tools to get out into the automotive world, and then to also, give them, by the way, there's this drag racing thing that's going on that's pretty cool to get involved in, and so. The mission of the Jim McClenathan Drag Racing Foundation is to promote drag racing and participation from the young adults that are getting out into the world. And all of us, we all say, kids don't get their driver's license the way they used to, and I couldn't wait to get my car, and on and on and on. But we don't do anything to help that, right? And how do we pass that on? And Donnie and Darr, I've talked to you guys. Our Top Fuel group is a great group of guys, right? All of us help each other. We talk. When we get to the starting line, all bets are off, and we try to, rip each other's throat out. And but these guys came through at the March meet to where I'm kind of jumping all over here, but we went to Bakersfield College. We met Vic Posey, Blake Bowser, and I. Blake was incredible in what he offered the kids at the March meet, and we took 20 of their students, and we placed them amongst the 12 teams that were out there. Some of the teams took 2 kids or 2 students. Some took 1. And it was a big ask on my part as far as, okay, you guys, this is what we want to do. Every one of them, took the students, and they were. And we had our guy. He was, torquing heads, and he was cleaning the car. He was doing the wheels. He took the oil to the oil dump, and I know all the other teams did the same thing. So it was great. And so we haven't gotten all of the feedback yet from Vic Posey, who was the department head of the Bakersfield College, but what we have heard is that it was probably one of the best experiences these students had in their entire life. So
yeah,
that part of it is now we got to grow it, right? We got to get guys and introduce them to. Donnie, how old were you when you went on tour?
12 years old. I was on tour with McEwen and Perdome. So, well, hey, Bobby, what was really cool out there at the March meet was I got to meet those kids that you were walking around the pit area and stuff, and man, they were pretty jacked up to be there and excited to be a part of that deal. So I felt the energy coming off of each and every one of them. So it's a great cause you guys do, man. I'm awful proud to be your friend.
And we also know how much all of the Nitro teams need crew.
That's right. Yeah, and where do you get those kids, right? And it was, Mindy, Tom Sheelar's group. I mean, they had the 2 girls, and they were pretty tough, right?
Yeah.
One was walking around with clutch dust on her cheek, and she was ready to rock and roll.
Well, they had some good inspiration with Mindy. She's pretty tough.
Yeah.
She's built those cars and drove them and did everything on them. So that's a good one to learn off of.
Yep. And every team has a story, right? Yeah. I mean, look at Chuck Neal and what he can provide from a machining aspect, right? And Tom Sheelar for his programming, and it goes on and on.
A lot of connections there, that stepping stones anyway, right?
Right.
So what's your next race, Bobby?
We'll be going back
to Bowling Green.
Bowling Green.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll go on the full tour. So we're going to do some testing, hopefully up at Sears Point. The March meet was a rough race. That was tough on all of us. So we'll test a little bit, and then we'll head back to Bowling Green in June.
Well, we'll certainly be watching you. And you and I talked on the phone earlier, it's like this is a great year for Top Fuel. Last year was really good. Just the points fight that between Murphy and Mendy and Adam was, it's like at the end nobody quite knew who was going to walk away with the series championship in that big NHRA payout.
That's right. Everybody is so close. Look at Pete Wittenberg on his first pass kicked the rods out of the thing, and then with Jimmy Young and Pete together, they put that thing back together, and they end up winning the race. That was fun to watch.
That was a pretty inspirational win there after what that team's been through.
That was really cool. So, and then we've got, our drag strip rumble with Cole, Kuntz, and Whit Bazemore. I guess that's going to be out this week. And I've seen a couple of the shots. So if you Google dragstriprumble.com, or Google just dragstrip rumble. I'm so tech savvy, right? I mean, you go. So it's easier to Google it, and you can see there's some good shots in there. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you a lot for calling in, Bobby. And if there's anything we can do to help the foundation and what you're doing, because it's like everybody needs crew. And where do you find them other than poaching them from another team?
Right, we're here to help you promote that, Bobby.
we're trying to get Donnie back on the crew chief side of things. So you never know.
I was last weekend, but it was on a boat.
Yeah, and you won. That was
Yeah,
pretty
we
cool.
won. It was, blind squirrel finds an acorn.
Where did you guys run?
Well, we were in Lake Ming, back up there in Bakersfield, and I was with Steve Rajic, who drove Pluger's funny car, the LA Hooker, and he's quite a driver and has quite a team, and I've been with them for a little bit. He's my neighbor, and we're having a good time, and hey, we brought home the trophy, so it was a good weekend, a good little booster for the ego. You know?
No, that's great.
Yeah.
Did you have your shirt off? Were you out there in the sun and you were one of those real boat guys? With
You know
the
what,
cigar?
Bobby? It was pretty close to the weather that we had at the March meet. It was cold and cloudy.
And on water.
And the only thing we didn't get was the rain. But, man, it was threatening skies all the time. But never hit any rain, only on the grapevine. We hit that in black ice. So that was the exciting part. But we had a good time. And boat racing's, just got a good group of people out there, just like drag racing does. So it's and I'd done that way before, and saw a lot of old friends out there.
No, that's great. Well, all racing is good, and you guys, thank you guys for
what you're doing, man.
Yeah, no, we got a good group. We just got to pass it on.
Okay. We'll see you at Bowling Green. Thanks a lot for calling in.
All right, you guys, love you.
Thank you, man.
Bye-bye.
All right, man. Bye.
Well, great guy, great cause, huh, Darr?
Yeah, always smiling to the track. I mean, it's like he's one of those guys.
He's sneaky. He's up to something. Anybody who can make that small block Chevrolet run the way he does, and he's got that.
Weighs what, 1,200 pounds?
Yeah, him? No, he's not that fat. Oh, you mean the car?
The car.
Well, most of it's Adam.
Yeah, that's true.
He's pretty chunky these days.
Well, speaking of winners.
Oh, don't bring Dan Hicks on.
Yeah, Dan Hicks is on the phone.
Oh man, you know what's going to happen?
What?
I'm going to start crying.
What?
Because that's what Dan Hicks and I do when he wins. I was there with his first victory, and he was so emotional. I'm trying to interview, and he made me cry. So we just do that every time he wins, and he's always in the finals.
Dan, are you crying?
No, not today. I'm not. Not today. Just as happy, but it's a good day. Always is.
Well, now how many March meets and reunions have you won? In the fuel
I've won, I think right now we've won 3 and went to the finals 4 out of 5. So,
yeah,
I feel like
qualifier.
I was a candidate to win all 5 if I wouldn't have, slipped up here or there. But everybody's got that.
You mean when Sullivan, you raced against Sullivan up at Boise?
Sullivan in Boise. You talking last year?
Yeah.
No, he was against my uncle's car.
Oh, okay.
Dave Hicks, and we get that a lot because to top it off, we both have fuel altereds. We're actually neighbors, and our names, Dave and Dan, we constantly get each other's mail or parts in the mail or whatever. It's an ongoing battle.
That's not a bad gig if you're getting parts.
Right. No, we've ran together in the past, and I'm doing my own thing, and I'm thankful that I have the opportunity to do my own thing, with my family and my crew and all my guys that help make this all happen, because it's a huge effort financially and physically, and I feel very blessed to be doing it to begin with, and then the people that I'm surrounded by with my family and my kids, and doesn't get much better.
You got a first-class operation, and you run good. Well, I want to know about that funny car that was parked in your pits.
That funny car belonged to a really good friend of mine, Paul Shackleton, who's my mate out of Brisbane, Australia area, and his good pal Bob Maher built that. It's probably Bob's last car that he'll build. Bob goes way back into the days of building some very top fuel dragsters was his main thing, but old Shaq, he shipped that car over to Australia once and ran it over there, and then they shipped it back, and Clint Thompson ran it over here, and he just didn't want to ship it back over there to run with Callan's group, which is kind of Callan's way and not a real supportive thing to do independently, and he wanted it to kind of stay in our little family of friends with Bob's last build, and so he kind of forced it on me a little bit, and I'm happy to be the guy on the receiving end because it's an absolutely beautiful car. And
yes, it is.
I've never driven a funny car, so I guess to get the opportunity, I had to had to own the darn thing. So,
well, if you can drive that car you got, if you could drive a fuel altered, buddy, you're gonna have no problem in that funny car. It'd be like a Cadillac.
Thanks. I hope so. I'm looking for armrests in that thing. I can't say get my arm out the window.
You need a cup holder and a cigarette lighter.
Right?
Hey, John Kegley was talking at the Good Vibrations March meet about some new sponsors that you brought on board. And,
yes, we're happy to bring Summit Attachments and Machinery on board. He's up here in Washington, and it's actually who I'm working for these days. We built some really revolutionary logging equipment, grapple carriages, and yoders and tong throwers, and all kinds of logging lingo that most people don't understand. But
Darr's been in the market for a yoder.
Are you in the yoder market? Yeah, we can hook you up.
Out?
We can
right after I finish paying off my truck.
Guys can probably relate to guys setting chokers on the ground, logging and choker setters. We're making equipment that will get them choker setters off the ground, and we're not putting them out of work, but we're giving them an option to, maybe step up and run a piece of equipment, because that's a dangerous job.
Yeah, it is.
A real high liability. So,
well, that's good. They come on board, and you're working for them also. So, is it easy to get off work when you need to go race, or you got to call in sick
somewhat.
still?
So, I'm the shop foreman, and got a good group of guys that I work with there, and we turn out a good product, and I treat everything like it's my race team, and we as a team with John Kegley and Mosby, and with my family, my wife's heavily involved, and now my kids is the best part, because
I got to meet them out 16,
there. Oh, they're getting more and more involved every time we go out, and my son Donovan's my clutch guy, and my son Blaine helps out, doing shoots, and he's learning the ropes, and I tell you, it's just it's real easy to be a proud dad when you look over. And,
yep. You're having fun, and you surrounded yourself with good people. That's doesn't get any better than that.
Well, so the recipe for success, is do your homework and surround yourself with good people and prepare your stuff at home. I see a lot of people that come up short at the races, and you look over and you're like, man, you should have handled that at home. You don't go to the races to see if it's going to
let's not name names, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's not name names, all right?
Okay, all right. Sorry about bringing that up.
It's like, wait a minute, you had 7 months between events in your repair.
Well, don't go there, Darr.
All right.
Yeah, you see it happen all the time.
Oh, you sure do.
I witnessed
love
it
working on my car, and. Yeah, what else does the guy want to do than play race car all the time?
You're ordering a new set of rods the Thursday before the Good Vibrations March meet. Hey, what do you mean I can't have them?
Right. Right.
Well, so what's your next event? You going to Boise for the? Are they running fuel alters at the Igniter?
They're not running them at the Igniter. They might do a little match racing or something that I'm not aware of. But no, I'm getting that Shack Attack funny car put together as we speak, and we're going to go test it down here in Woodburn, Oregon, and then we're off to Denver, May 20th. They got their Night of Fire, and kind of up in the air whether we're going to take the altered or go run the funny car. But I want to run this funny car, and I think we're welcome to bring either car. I think we've proven that we come make our runs, and we don't lube the track, and we take pride in what we do, and we try our part to look the part also, and that's where like Kegley steps in. He's a promotional guy, and he has that's what he does for a business, and we like to look professional and act professional, and in the end it pays off, and some people I think maybe are starting to learn that, and Others don't care. They want to do the greasy shirt and wore out blue jeans.
Well, and it doesn't hurt to have Chewy's as part on your car too.
Yeah, we lost Chewy's as a sponsor this year, but we're still friends with all those guys.
Buzzkill, Darr.
Oh man,
good people. But no, they business and stuff. It can't always be on the high side, and we understand. We don't take it personal. We just work hard to to fill the void. And boy, without the sponsorship help, it really makes it tough for a guy that just goes to work and is just a 9-to-5 blue collar guy that has dreams and expectations to do more in life. And I don't sit around and watch TV on Saturday and Sunday. I'm doing something. I'm trying to either make a buck or build something, and all the time. And it's I can't even fathom.
You bought one of the prettiest funny cars out there. You definitely bought one. You definitely bought one of the prettiest funny cars out there.
I sure think so.
Yeah.
And it has,
hey, you know what, Dan? I'm sure that they'll Fuel Alder guys are very welcome to see you go run a funny car and get out of that class, so they could bring home some of that hardware.
Well, unfortunately for them, I'll be showing up with an entry as long as I can afford it, and maybe if I fall on my face, somebody else will give me an opportunity. But I'm going to go to that March meet as long as I'm standing.
There you go, buddy. There you go.
It's a good way to start the season of good times, and that's what this is all about. Is just making memories. I'm going to be old on a bar stool one day, just telling stories and how it used to be. But right now we're living it up and sharing it with my kids.
Very proud.
If they'd let us run that darn MBR with the funny car guys, we'd make a stab at doing that. But I gotta get through all the political tape on that mess.
You're not getting any disagreement from us. Ford MBR. Whatever.
Right.
The Alan Johnson Oldsmobile. It just doesn't matter.
All the rules that are specified with pumps and blowers and overdrive, and let's race.
Let's do it.
I asked Bucky if he cared, and he said I don't care. And there's a guy that I would love to match up against just because I've watched him since I was a kid and show him respect,
Well, hey, Dan, listen, we appreciate you calling into the show, and big congratulations on another March meet win, and we hope to see you. I'd like to talk to you on our show after you run that funny car and get your thoughts on that and what a difference it is. And thanks for being part of our show tonight.
Thank you. Hey, and I really enjoyed our time of shooting the breeze there in the pits, telling stories about Connie Coletta. That was some of the funniest times we had.
Well, I enjoyed meeting your kids, man. They're pretty ambitious, and you're a great friend.
That's awesome.
You're a great friend. All right, buddy.
You guys inviting us along, and go Heat Seekers.
Hey, we did the show, Dan. We didn't even cry.
All right. Good stuff. Success. We're moving up.
All right, buddy.
Thanks
you
a lot,
take
Dan.
care.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Appreciate it, guys.
Great Fuel Alder driver, huh? He came out.
Sure is a winner.
He hit the number right on.
Oh, yeah.
Number one qualifier. And
we forgot to ask him exactly what is that footage mark that he clicks it.
Yeah,
to be able to hit that.
I don't know if he's going to want to share that with those other guys.
He's good at it.
Yeah, he's really good at it.
Well, look at who we got. Another March meet, Good Vibrations March meet winner.
Man, we got them all on the show.
Owner of Mike Stewart and Mike Halstead, the driver, won the Good Vibrations March race in rear motored Top Fuel, and I believe that he set low ET of the event at 554.
Wow.
Yeah, despite all our efforts.
Despite all the weather and everything they threw at you, huh, Mike?
Oh my gosh, we were camping with a race car,
Yeah.
Just in the rain.
Yeah, I've done that before. It's gets a little cold out there. It never heats up during March. Man, you guys are doing a great job, and I think Mike Halstead's one of the most underrated drivers out there. He's a great guy, a great mechanic, but he really knows how to handle himself behind the wheel.
Well, that's for sure, and his family and my family get along so well. We love having him around, and it's just he hasn't lost in my car.
Yeah. Well, when you get a bunch of people that get along and race together, it's hard enough just trying to get the thing down the track. So
it's so good to see rear motor Top Fuel coming back, though. It's from 1972 is what a lot of the fans in the stands have experienced, and not necessarily front motor Top Fuel. So this is certainly appealing to a broader group.
Yeah.
Front motor Top Fuel, rear motor Top Fuel, great. Bring them on.
Well, one year Dan Pastorini came out, and him and I ran that quarterback sneak car of his and won Atlanta, and we did pretty good together. And he came out to the March meet, and he called me and goes, "Man, I fit in some of these cars, man. I need to do this." I go, Dan, if we ever get somebody interested, we're going to get you out here and put you in a car.
Back together.
Right? The quarterback sneak. I mean, he still loves it. So we'll get him out there one day. But you guys are doing a great job out there, Mike.
Well, thank you very much. It's just, just so happens this is the car we have, and, the parts just kind of match what we needed to get started on this deal that Blake and Bill Condit started, so it's just, we just love Nitro. We love Nitro racing, and I know Mike worked for me back in the 90s, and, And when I thought about having somebody drive my car, he was the first and only one that I thought of. And it just we don't even speak to each other. We both know what to do. We both know what's going on. We both know what we're thinking.
Nice.
And it just works so well. It's almost scary sometimes.
Yeah, once you get that chemistry going, it's hard to lose.
Can you give us an idea? I mean, you have very specific rules that Bill Condit and some of the other guys put together for this class. Now, you've got to run a cast blower.
Well, it's supposed to be a GMC 671, and my car, we have a GMC 671 original case. It's got the casting numbers in it, and of course the guys at Littlefields, they take care of it for us and put some nice rotors and stuff in there, but we can only run that thing at 18 over. So it's just amazing. Nobody was more surprised when we ran 554 than me, because that was the very first A to B run on this car, and it's if you know what was in there for a tune-up, it's so soft that it's like 1971 all over again. I can understand that it's hard to slow the car down, and we tried in the final. It got cold, and then the air got cold and the track got cold, and we spun the tires. And lucky for us, we had Mike behind the wheel, because it was a major pedal fest, and he pedaled it all the way down the finish line to win the 60th March meet, which we were super happy about.
Man, that's really great. Well, hey, Mike, you were up at the West Coast.
West Coast Hot Rod.
West Coast Hot Rod this weekend. How was that?
It was great. It was really good. They've got some heads up classes that are going there for the door car guys, the small tire and big tire. It was a really good event. I mean, my wife and I are so tired of the cold and the rain. It was like, please, we need a little sunshine, But it was Saturday. They were kind of dodging rain, and it finally did rain about 5 o'clock. But everybody had got a qualifying run, so Danny Topol, that runs West Coast Hot Rod, could make the ladders for Sunday. But it was a little chilly. But Sunday the sun came out for the most part, and they got a good day of racing on Sunday. So it's kind of like the March meet, same deal.
Well, I'm sorry I missed it. I talked to one of the photographers who's going to get me a bunch of photos so I can do a story in Bank Shift about it. But I think it's great that Danny's come back out and revived something that was dormant for a while, with PSCA moving to Denver area and NMCA pulling directly out of here with drag racing, and now they've only got autocross. Right. This is there's a lot of those cars out here. There may not be as many as in the Midwest, but there's a lot of them out here, and a lot of cars were built for PSCA. And if they've got the Streetcar Super Nationals once a year, that's not nearly enough for anybody to run.
Well, and I was so happy that they chose the greatest venue out in the West, as Famoso Raceway, Auto Club Famoso Raceway, which I had told Danny over and over, this is the best place that you guys could run, hands down, and it'll make it a better race, because of that, of course, but just a good event, and like I say, they've got a lot of potential there, and a lot of our customers, are in that group, so it's a great program.
And those are customers of Mike's Transmissions, is that correct, Mike?
Yeah, the Racing Automatics.
There we go. We've got one in our Model A, and Mike's going to build us one for our AFX car.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got a lot of customers out there. I see the stickers on all these cars.
Everywhere.
And, you got a good product going. You built a pretty good name for yourself.
Well, we love racing. And thank you, Donnie. I really appreciate that. We love racing. I mean, I just got bit when I was a young kid, and I got bit in a bad way, because the first time I really went to a serious racetrack, I went to Orange County in like the late 70s, and some relatives of mine had a Top Fuel car, and we went with them, and I was right face full of nitro and smoke, and it got into my veins, and it's been there ever since.
Yeah, well, that's easy to do. I know that personally.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, it was great to see you. Great to see that car performing, and hopefully it brings out some more cars. I know that there are some other ones still on the chassis jig, and there's some that are getting repainted, and hoping that we get a full 8-car field for the Good Vibrations March meet in 2019.
Yeah, it would be great. Like I say, we've got a solid guys, the 4 guys that have run with us, and the good solid cars. And actually, Charlie O'Neill just bought an old Swindell car from Texas, and he's getting it updated to come out and run with us. And we can just add a few more guys. It would be a great setup.
Well, we're very happy you've won the deal back-to-back, and great effort by your team and Mike Halstead, the driver, and it was a great to watch.
Yeah, it's just good, family. Like I say, it's about the next generation and trying, getting the kids. My son Michael helps a lot with everything, and his girlfriend and her family, and my wife, and just to get us all involved and working towards a goal is a great thing for a family and friends to do.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot for calling in, Mike. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Take care, Mike.
Bye.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Man, Donnie.
Guy's got a good product out there with his transmissions.
He
and now
really does.
He's got a great team with that dragster. And, I don't think they've raced Nitro before, but they're coming around.
Well, I know they used to run Nitro out at LACR.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. And,
wow.
Boy, coming away with low ET of the whole event.
Yeah.
With a 554 is pretty damn amazing.
Making laps in that car in those weather conditions that, trying to run one of those in cold weather like that, and keep it tame.
Well, Brad Thompson's always said that those cars should be running high 30s.
Did he?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Bring it on.
He was like king of the oil downs down there, wasn't he?
He has his issues, but that car's definitely turned around from where it was.
Oh, they've done good with the funny car.
Yeah, they've done all right.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a second. Let's run commercials, and then we got James Maher to talk about.
I know that guy. Good Vibrations.
The SIFCA group and Good Vibrations.
Aeromotive Fuel Systems. On the street, in the water, or at the track, if you can drive it, we can fuel it. Good Vibrations Motorsports specializes in the parts you need for gas, alcohol, and nitro engines. If you're muscling a funny car or top fueler down the quarter mile, cutting a rooster tail across the lake, or cruising the boulevard, Good Vibrations has the blower and fuel system solutions for your personal ride and race car. If you want to go fast, really fast, then Good Vibrations Motorsports is ready to hear from you at goodvibesracing.com. Stith Printing is your leader in corporate and individual identity marketing, with over 3 decades of delivering the best quality garments for your budget and promotions. At Stith Printing, we offer in-house design, providing strong graphic solutions for any project with fabric screen printing or high-density embroidery. Stith's diverse background and attention to detail gets the job done on time and on budget, then ships the job to your door. Whether you field an international racing team, a statewide construction company, a local softball team in a church league, or the convenience store down the street, Stith Printing has the crew to deliver your next printing and branding project.
Hi, I'm Adam Sorokin, and I'm one of the people that really hates Darr, Hawthorne, and Donnie Couch. But you're watching NitroReports.com.
That's our buddy Adam Sorokin, drives the Top Fuel dragster that Bobby McClenathan takes care of. And by the way, let's all just thank Stith for our new embroidered shirts.
Check us out, man.
Bruce has got his.
We're styling.
Come on, we got there we go. No more of this T-shirt stuff. We are styling and identifying.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Kevin, for doing it. Now we got James Maher on the phone from Good Vibrations Motorsports and SIFCA. And the California Independent Funny Car, or is it Injected Funny Car Association, and the new Good Vibrations Motorsports catalog is here.
Dragparts.com. You could have the same catalog. Hey, you know what? I just went through this thing. There's so many good parts in here, and I didn't even know they made. I go, hey, I didn't know they made this stuff.
This is the new catalog.
And all kinds of tools and safety equipment and injectors and blowers. Yeah, you get a hold of dragparts.com and they'll send this to you free, and it's a good read. You know,
it's a good
read, man. I really enjoy it. Lots of pictures, tech advice, and there's our good friends there, so we support them.
Absolutely, James. How you doing?
Good. I'm on my way to a concert.
What concert you going to?
A coworker of ours, Tyler, he's in a band playing at the House of Blues in Anaheim. So
that's pretty
we're
good.
On our way.
Well, hope you have a great time. Well, tell us. Then, let's make this quick because you probably got valet parking there waiting for you.
Yeah. My girlfend's driving. So okay.
Good deal. How's the SIFCA shaping up for this year? What's your next race? Is at Sacramento, or I know you're running a match race at Tucson.
Yeah, we're going to kick our season off at Sacramento there for their Funny Car Fever, and then head to Tucson, not for a SIFCA race, but just for the UNFC race. The Good Vibrations Championship Series will kick off there, and they have the 6-0 deal, and then we'll just keep carrying on. We got about 6 races scheduled for SIFCA, so it should be a good year for us.
Has Pete finally dusted off his car?
He won't do that. He only talks about it, Darr. You're not supposed to bring it up.
That's it.
That's one of those deals that stays in the garage all the time.
Really?
You just show the neighbors, pull it outside.
The level of wax on that car must be huge.
You imagine living next to him and he puts it in the driveway every weekend and trophies all around the driveway. I know how he is. Right, James?
Yeah, you got it. He's getting close. He's getting closer.
Well, that's good. You need more cars.
He said that 2 years ago.
That's a great series you got going. Of course, you revived that thing, and I know it's a lot of work for you. And you're even driving. You got your own car,
and you're building a second one.
Yeah,
that's for me, Darr.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for Donnie.
Yeah,
good to know.
Everybody wants a shot at the World Challenge Media Challenge champion, right?
That's what I heard.
Well, there's some good-looking cars in that series, and we're seeing pictures of them now, and I'd like to make one of those events here coming up.
Yeah, come on out. We got 6 of them scheduled, mostly in Northern California. Can actually head up to Medford, Oregon later in the year, and the plan for our team, I guess, is to hit all the SIFCA races, and then we're also going to try to go back east to the Good Vibrations Funny Car Nationals in July.
Yeah, you guys are plenty busy over there at Good Vibrations, and we saw like at the March meet, it's like you brought your whole shop up there and put it under a tent, and it was great to see all the people around there all weekend.
Yeah, it worked out great. An international following, and I know the rain wasn't what we were hoping for, but it definitely brought a lot of people into the booth, and we didn't really see a negative side of it too much.
No, it's funny. We were up to. I saw Vic Wood up there, and he said, I thought, man, we broke an AN fitting, and they had it in the tent. They had exactly what I needed in the tent, and because he was working on Nate Bugg's fuel altered, and I guess there were a couple of times where he went and said, I wonder if they've got that over in the tent.
Well, I'll tell you what, I built a lot of funny cars out of that shop. And recently with Steve Radchick's alcohol hydro, we've gotten into some late-night situations and make a call to the Maher family. And Good Vibration shop opened up, and they took care of us. So whether it's a car or a boat or whatever, these guys are equipped to supply you with anything you need. And great tech support over there, James. You guys do a good job.
We try. Appreciate that, Donnie. We're there 6 a.m. to 4:30, 5 o'clock, Monday through Friday. We're nonstop. Tis the season, so.
Well, you could also pick up your new Aeromotive catalogs that I dropped off last week. There's a brand new Aeromotive catalog with the new brushless gear pumps in it that crank out a ton of fuel, particularly for blown applications, and you can find that all in the Good Vibrations catalog, which apparently you just got some pallets full just in time for the Good Vibrations March meet. Right?
And look, it's got James's funny car right on the cover.
Yeah.
So maybe if you get a hold of dragparts.com, maybe you can get James to autograph it before they put it in the mail.
Yeah,
that could work.
I didn't get this one autographed, but.
No, that was mine that came in the mail.
Was?
It's got my name on the back.
You got
of
it?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought you lived in Long Beach.
I do, but I have many mailing addresses.
Yeah. As shifty as you are, I'd move around too. But I'm going to take this and have James sign it for me.
All right, good.
He's doing a great job driving that car, and his dad's awful proud of him. Well, and so are we.
James, I will see you in Tucson. Really looking forward to that event and bringing some nitro and some funny cars and all different kinds of stuff for those really good fans in Tucson at Tucson Dragway.
Sounds good. We'll have a small booth set up there selling the UNSC T-shirts, and we've got our 2018 Siska T-shirts coming out. We'll also have those out there. So come by, say hi, and we'll have some fun.
Good. Thanks a lot for calling in, James.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, James.
Bye.
Wow, Darr. Where'd the hour and a half go by so quick, man? Huh?
Yeah. As I mentioned, stop by Good Vibrations and pick up the new Aeromotive mini catalog, and in particular, take a look at the new brushless eliminator pumps, and from 5 gallons per minute, 2 gallons per minute to 3.5 gallon. So those are all either submersible in the tank or external, and also. We're always trying to give some stuff away. Now, I know it's March. I know we're almost to April.
Right? You still got calendars.
I just found a box of these in my storage place, of the Stith Legends of Nitro calendars. Fuel altered. There's the fuel altered one. 2 Nitro Funny Car ones. If you send me your by email, send it to info@nitroreports.com. Send me your address. I'll just put them in the mail. And 5 of these I will put in a Nitro Reports sticker for your tow vehicle or your race car. And we saw a lot more cars up at
with our logo on it
of the Good Vibrations March meet. It's like I
thought we were the title sponsor.
I had a stack of them about like that. I got a stack of them about like that now.
Yeah, so everybody kept hitting me up for them, and I kept seeing them on every car.
Big question up there was, I'm driving around in a golf car. Where's Donnie? I think he's up in the tower. It wasn't my turn to watch him. It's like, come on.
Yeah, well.
We're not always together.
It was warmer up in the tower,
You're
Darr.
not kidding.
We sent you out there in the trenches.
Oh, my God. I had 2 sweatshirts on and a hoodie and my jacket on, and it was like, damn, it's cold up here.
We have the Nitro Report sticker on Steve Radjick's Agent Orange alcohol hydro.
So now we're moving into the boat area.
The water area.
And that reminds me, I've got to send some stickers to Eddie Knox to replace the ones that he had to take off.
Why do you have to take them off?
Oh, because I think he did some shoe polish over them for LIC, for licensing, when Billy was getting his license. So
he covered our name.
It's all right.
Okay, he's banned from the show.
For Eddie, he gets no problem.
Gets
Eddie
one pass.
Yeah. So again, if you want one of these one of these Stith printing Legends of Nitro calendars for 2018. Sorry, you already lost 3 months, but there's a lot of really good. There's a lot of really good months left. Okay, this is not a washed up year by any means.
Hey, Darr. Speaking of Legends of Nitro, we lost one of our legends last week, Dale Emery, driver of the Pure Hell Fuel Altered, and he's the crew chief on the Blue Max. He even drove Jags' funny car. He even had a wheel stander with Bob Riggle. And nobody does. He never talked about that. But He passed on Friday. Fortunately, I was able to talk to him, and you would have not known he was on his deathbed because he was sharp as a tack, as he always was. And we were talking about old times and things we'd done together, and we're all going to miss the guy, but we're going to have some services for him in April down there in Dallas. So.
He was an awesome dude. There's a lot of really awesome people in drag racing, but he is way at the top.
He was an innovator, and he did a lot of fuel systems, helped a lot of people out there. And one thing about him, I was with him when he built his first flow bench, and all these flow benches, they use water to flow them with, not Dale. You know what he used? Nitro.
Uh-huh.
And you'd be at the Blue Mac shop, and he'd be out there running that flow bench, and it was like you were in the pit area because the offices and everything, your eyes were watering. It was great. But, Dale, we're going to miss you, buddy.
Man,
Godspeed.
A true legend in our sport. There's a lot of people that call him, that are called legend, but that... he was definitely a legend.
Yeah, and speaking of legends, I want to give a shout-out to Connie Coletta.
Absolutely.
He won with his car with Ripsy Crampton driving, and they won the Gator Nationals, and that was very big, and I knew it's going to give Connie a shot in the arm because he's been down for a little bit and with his health, and car hasn't been running good, but, we know it's got that global name on the front.
That's it. That helps a lot.
Yeah, DHL Global and Coletta Air. So, congratulations to that team.
Well, in addition to what I found in the shop, the extra calendars, I have something here that's sort of been sitting in the back of my truck. I forgot to pull it out. But for you funny car guys that remember back a while back when Mike Halstead was driving for Mike McCain.
Many people drove that car.
Mendy drove this car.
Mike Adams drove it.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And
Donnie Couch built it. Is that correct for Don Nelson?
Yeah.
Wow. So this is a crew shirt.
Is that your crew shirt?
No, I got my crew shirt sitting in on a hanger. But if you would like this, you got to give me a really good reason. And Brian, you don't just get it because you are on the phone, because I know you're going to jump right on and call me and say this is for you. But this is a very sought after McCain's Bomb Squad, which was involved in a federal trademark lawsuit. So technically, I can give this away, but nobody else on the team can touch it. There's a consent decree.
Wait a minute. If they wear it, are they going to get sued, Darr?
They're not part of the consent decree, and I don't give a crap.
That was the angry soccer dad up there.
Soccer dad, exactly.
Yeah.
And but anyway, if you can come up with a really good reason why you should get this deal, info at nitroreports.com, and I will send it out to you. I'd love I'd love for somebody to have it. It is truly a collector's item because that car ain't around anymore, and now it's painted. The body's painted gold. It's down in Florida. The chassis is the California Hustler, and that's sort of the lineage of where the Bomb Squad and
the Drama Squad.
Donnie Couch built it. In fact, we got to get Donnie to sign this. So, or you don't want to be part of those?
No, the value will go down.
All right, never mind. We'll send it clean, all right? And it did come out of the cleaners, by the way. So,
wait, it's time to go to Pinocchio's, Darr.
Yep.
So you got your autograph session there at 7:30? So you're going to have to fly down there.
I'm definitely have to fly. But
right. Or if you're the first one at Pinocchio's, you can get that shirt. How's that?
That's it. If you meet us at Pinocchio's tonight, the first one that walks in and says, "Darr, give me that shirt," I will hand you this shirt.
Wow.
Pinocchio's in Burbank on Magnolia?
Yeah, Magnolia.
I don't know. I just got
Monte
it on
Carlo
autopilot.
Deli and Pinocchio's, whatever it is.
We're not buying you dinner, but we will give you a shirt.
I'll let them have a meatball or something.
There you go. Just one meatball.
Right? All right, folks.
Well, thanks a lot for watching. And also, thanks for spreading the word. The show that we did with Blake and Adam in studio had 21,000 people or 21,000 views. So some of you guys are watching it 8 times.
Jeez.
But based on what we got off of Ustream and live stream and what we got off of what's that thing? Facebook. Facebook's still around. We had almost 21,000 people watch that
Drew
show.
Austin watched it like 15,000 times.
He
likes seeing himself.
He's got it on autoplay.
Yeah.
And then
it's in a loop in the shop.
And that show, these are all on our Facebook page, and we will soon be on an internet-based TV station that is all running motorsports that we'll be announcing. Hopefully next time it'll be on the air. It'll be on the computer, on the internet, but we're going to be one of the first shows on there.
We're getting pretty popular, man. We love our audience. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sometimes we don't even advertise we're going to be on, like we did at the March meet, and we had a great show then, and it was a makeshift deal, and it happened.
Shirts were backwards.
Yeah.
But thanks a lot for watching, and spread the word. And if you'd like one of the calendars or the shirt or just a Nitro Reports decal, we got a few of those left. info@nitroreports.com. Bruce Barker, back to you. Thanks a lot, Donnie. Let's go to dinner.
Before we go, I want to thank Bruce Barker for doing one hell of a job, as he always does. Pulls it off.
Yeah, pshaw.
Yeah.
And as we always say, get off your dead ass and buy a ticket to a drag race.
Get off your dead ass and go to Pinocchio's and get a free shirt.
Thanks for watching, everybody.